Welcome to Best Bets Gardening. I'm Julie. Today, let's talk about saving tomato seeds for next spring. So you found a tomato you really like, and you'd like to save the seeds to plant again next year. Tomato seeds have a gelatinous coating that we have to remove before we put those seeds into storage. Otherwise, those seeds will rot. So the first thing we're going to do is slice open our tomato. See the gel coating in there? That little gel sac? Where the seeds are. We're going to take our finger and just scoop all of that out into a jar. And when you save seeds from a tomato, first of all, the tomato has to be ripe. The second thing is it has to be an heirloom tomato. If you save seeds from a hybrid tomato, you're going to get next year one of the parent plants or one of the grandparent plants. It's not going to be the same tomato that you grew this year. So make sure this is an heirloom tomato. And we're going to scoop all of these seeds, all the gel, all the gook out into this jar. I'm going to continue doing this. And when I get all of my seeds out of the tomato, we'll come back and go on to step 2. The next thing we're going to do is put ½ inch, 1 inch of water in our jar. And I'm going to get these tomato pieces out of the way. And then I'm going to take a coffee filter and a canning ring or a paper towel and a rubber band, whatever you have available. Just put a top on it. And we're going to let this sit somewhere out of our way for 3 to 5 days until it forms a scum on top. 3 to 5 days later, when we take off our lid and our coffee filter, see that nice scum in there? That scum is what is eating that gel coating off the seeds. Then we're going to fill our jar with water. And I'm going to put the coffee filter back on. We're going to give it a good shake, a good agitation. That also helps knock loose the gel coating. Give this a minute to kind of settle. I know you can't see it now, but the good stuff is sinking and the bad stuff is floating. And then we're going to pour out most of the water in our jar. I know that looks scary. Oh my gosh, I'm pouring out all my seeds. No, you're not. You'll be able to see this much more clearly in just a second when the water clears up a little bit. Fill it back up. Give it a minute to settle. And then gently pour back out. Most of the water. Fill it back up. Now you can kind of start to see what's going on here. The good viable seeds are settling and the bad stuff is floating on top, and that's what we're pouring off. We're slowly cleaning our seeds, and the water gets clearer and clearer and clearer. Fill it back up. Now you can really see what's going on inside that jar. See the good seeds on the bottom and the bad stuff floating? We just want to pour that bad stuff off. And if we do it slow enough, our good seeds will stay at the bottom. Keep doing this until you have nice, clear water and clean seeds. Okay, last time. We can pour out almost all of the water now because our seeds are very wet. They're pretty stuck to the bottom of the jar. As long as you're slow, you're good. Then I'm going to dump them out into this little filter. And ultimately, whether you have that little filter or not doesn't matter. You could just dump them out of the jar right onto a coffee filter. And the reason we use a coffee filter is because the seeds won't stick to it. If you use a paper towel, they're gonna stick. So we just kind of spread these out on a coffee filter as best as we can, and we're going to let them dry for a week or two. After about a week, you can break up any little clumps of tomato seeds that are sticking together. I've also labeled what kind of seeds they are and the date I put them on the filter. We just break those up, and then we're going to let them dry for about another week. After about another week or so, your seeds are ready to go into storage. I like to use snack baggies for this. You can use a plastic jar or whatever you'd like. Slide the seeds right off the filter into the bag. We want to keep these stored in a cool, dry place, and our seeds should be good for about 4 years if stored properly. So we want to write on here the variety of tomato seed and the year that we saved these seeds. Happy seed saving! Thanks for watching. We'd love to have you subscribe.